Hey there, everybody, or should I say, yo, welcome to our Better Call Saul Season 6, Episode 11 review for the episode titled Breaking Bad, because that's not confusing. That, of course, we meet Saul Goodman on the Breaking Bad episode Better Call Saul. Look how clever you guys are.
Clever. They just brought back all the nostalgic feels in this episode. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but there was a lot of really good stuff in there. And for
Yeah,
all the Breaking Bad fans out there, I mean, they did us good with the nostalgia.
they really did. I enjoyed everything from the let's look at the test tubes to just like kind of hearing the quotes about Ignacio and hearing him talk with Jesse about Lalo. And it's like these things that we
Who's Lalo? Oh, you
like.
guys better be setting up a Lalo spinoff. I don't want to hear Jesse be like, "Who's Lalo?" and then we just never ever see him again.
The Lalo origin story will be fantastic.
I
We're here
gotcha.
for it. We would all watch it. Okay, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys, because we are here with you guys through the end of this show. We, of course, want to be in the discussions with you. We don't want you to miss anything else. So go ahead, hit that right now.
There's only a couple episodes left, everyone. Hit that subscribe button. We're also going to be covering House of the Dragons coming up
Yes.
later this month. Raising Kanan is back this month. There's a lot of really good stuff already going on the channel. It's the last season of Animal Kingdom. So, yeah, hit that subscribe button. Also, follow us over on Instagram, Matt and Jess TV, for just some kind of fun pictures that are a little less dark than what is going on this show.
Okay. This episode made me crazy. I'm just gonna say that from the start because I at least I think for us anyway, Kim is obviously one of the big hot topics here, and I will just say from the start, this is kind of my beef with this episode. I wish they just didn't jerk us around as to what's going on with Kim and they just sort of said it. It's like I was fine with them sort of like jerking us around with Howard earlier this season because it's like, all right, we know where Jimmy ends up. So we have some sort of reference point at the end. So I'm okay if you guys want to keep some of the middle part of this a secret as to what Jimmy and Kim are up to, like what's their end game with Howard. But it's just like now we're seeing this whole process that we're trying to understand with Jeff and this whole crew. And we also don't know what happened to Kim. So we're just all just flying blind here.
I really liked seeing Francesca come in and have this conversation with Gene, sort of an update on everything that's going on. You can tell he's kind of testing the waters, like, how hot is it there still? He really misses his life there. He misses everything that
Yeah.
was going on. Kind of a put my toe in the water, see if I can go back or not. Francesca's like, nah, people are still listening to my calls, they're still checking my mail, I'm still getting followed here and there. Like, they're still looking for you, they're still looking for Jesse. Walt is dead, Skylar took a deal, like sort of a just a little bit of a wrap up of like, where are they now kind of thing. And I don't think any of us are that surprised that Skylar took a deal or anything. I mean, we all know what happened to Walt and Jesse and everything like that, but obviously Saul doesn't. So when she finally gets to the point where she's like, by the way, when it all went down, I actually got a call from Kim. I was just like, oh, that's very interesting. So wherever she is, she must have seen it all falling apart on the news or however she found out and decided to give Francesca a call. She asked about Jimmy and was like, is he okay? Is he dead? Like, just kind of give me that bit of a lowdown, which was enough to prompt Gene to actually call to sort of the last place that he knew Kim was.
Okay. This gets us to this conversation. He calls him up. He's trying to get the information. He wants an answer, just like all of us. Gene is us in this moment. And then they pan away, and then they have this stupid, like, truck that gets in the way, so we don't get to have this conversation. We just hear this
Yeah.
stupid truck, and then we get to see Saul basically just destroy this phone booth completely. It's like, all the phone booths are getting destroyed already. That's a thing of the past, Gene. You don't need to do this. It's not the phone booth's fault.
Okay, so let's sort of talk a little bit about this. What
Okay.
is it that could have been said on this phone call to make him react that way? We want to know from you guys in the comments.
Yeah.
What do you think the conversation was? I mean, there's a couple of options here. He either spoke to Kim and it didn't go the way that he wanted and he lost his mind. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
I personally actually don't think he spoke to Kim. I think he spoke to somebody else, like that picked up the phone and was like, either she doesn't want to talk to you, oh, maybe you didn't hear, she's in prison, or she's passed away, whatever it is. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, but I want to believe that he did not speak to Kim, and that after this huge long journey we've been on with Jimmy and Kim and how it ended, that the writers are not going to just take away this first conversation after all these years and not let us hear it. So that's where I am. That's the hill I'm on. He didn't actually speak to her. He spoke to somebody else who wouldn't let him speak to her.
I am right there on that hill as well. The conversation was so short. And it's like, if he was actually on the phone with Kim, and even if Kim was trying to rush him off and he's so desperate to talk to Kim, he would just be like, oh, hold on, one more thing. How's the weather? He's going to like try to keep her on the phone.
Yeah, or I'll call you back another time. I don't think he's going to get that mad and yell at her and, kick a phone booth in.
No, I don't foresee that in any way, shape, or form. And I am also going to stake my claim, and this is where I could be really wrong. I don't think she's dead, just because to have that happen where he gets told that she's dead in a conversation that we don't even get to hear, and then we see him freak out after the fact. It's just like, that is so anticlimactic. Like, that is so not interesting or not exciting. There's zero payoff about that. We still have 2 more episodes. Like, they want us to at least have some sort of tension here, and if it's just like, well, Kim is dead, we're just gonna watch Gene just mess around in Omaha from here on out. Like, what's the point?
Well, that's the thing. Whatever information he did hear on the phone was enough to make him break bad again. Like, everything that happened with Howard and then Kim leaving him, and then we know he broke bad and became Saul, and then everything that obviously happened at the end of Breaking Bad, where he ended up being Gene and living this life where he's like, oh, I'm just working at the Cinnabon and going home and watching TV and, always looking over my shoulder. Whatever's happened with that phone booth conversation has put him on a track where he's just looking to get caught at this point. Like, he just is right back in it again. He's, got his marks. He's working with Jeff again. He's trying to like steal people's identities, rolling in money again. And then he gets a mark that's got cancer and he's like, I don't care. We're just going to keep on going. Like, he's so far down the rabbit hole with this that even when, they're kind of like, I'm not sure about this one. I don't feel that good about it. This guy has cancer. Gene's like, I'm going to go do it myself. Breaks the window. End of the episode.
Okay. Here is what happened, everybody, in this conversation. At any point, whether it is you or the commenters, please let me know when this gets delusional, because it's going to happen at some point. Okay. So, Jimmy, whatever you want to call him.
Jimmy, Saul, Gene.
Whatever. He is on the phone. This person tells him on the phone, Kim was here, but she quit last week. And yeah, I don't really know where she headed off to. I'm sorry. He's freaking out about this after the fact because this was sort of his last hope. This was his only way to have that contact with Kim. And I think after that, he's just really mad because he feels like, I've lost it. I have lost this opportunity. I have lost where she is. I have no way to know if she's okay, what she's doing. Like, is she married? Like, none of this other information will ever get to me now. So I am having a tantrum. I don't care about anything anymore. I'm going down yet another bad choice road. But insert the record scratch here. What if ultimately Kim seemingly knows that, well, I guess she knows, if nothing else, that Jimmy's not dead. She spoke to Francesca. Francesca, I'm sure at the very least, would say he was dead. She didn't say a whole lot else, but maybe Kim quit because she's off looking for Jimmy/Gene.
Oh
Maybe she
boy.
is going to. I'm still remembering all the Easter eggs, the royal shirt. There's other evidence that she has Nebraska ties in her past.
She does, but I just think whatever it is, it's given Saul no hope. Like, it
Yeah.
really is the moment where it feels like he's like, you know what? I'm not for this Cinnabon life anymore. I'm done with this. I want to get back to who I am, who I was. I've always been slipping Jimmy, but now it's gone so far that it got Howard killed. I got even deeper into it. If Walt, who's a high school chemistry teacher, can be the next big drug kingpin, then why can't I get to that point as well? And it sort of feels like he's running into the same sort of crisis that Walt was going through at the end of Breaking Bad, where he's like, oh yeah, the cancer's back, but I want to go out on my own terms. I do this because I like it. I'm not just doing it for money for my family. Yeah, maybe it started out kind of about that, but it was always about this other thing, that it's for me and I want to go out on my own terms. And I think we're at the point where Gene is at that same crossroads where he's like, I want to go out on my own terms. I do not want to be 80 years old icing Cinnabons. I want to go out doing things that I love, slipping Jimmy, getting money, screwing people over. And if I got caught, oh wells.
It's so funny you mentioned the word crossroads there because it just brought back that image. I didn't even think about it anymore in the episode of that literal crossroads where we see the car going down. It's like this show is so visually representative of a lot of different things. And yeah, he don't care anymore. Like, he really is just sort of like, I want to have some fun, because at the end of the day, fun and games, the title of that episode, Jimmy and Kim did what they did because they thought it was fun. And now he's having himself a grand old time. But unfortunately for Gene Takovic, the one person who he may have never suspected to be his possible undoing, Carol Burnett and her cat videos may be the thing that screws you over here, Gene.
It might be, but it will also be interesting if the person who ends up really screwing him over is him doing a job with someone else that's battling cancer. Because, everything that's gone on with Walt and Jimmy and him, this seems to be a reoccurring theme. It is not a coincidence.
Okay, so here is one of the real problems that's going on here. This guy, it seems as though he took his, medication, if you will, a good bit of time beforehand, before Gene showed up. It may not even be active all that much anymore. He's just told Jeff, just come back here in 20 minutes. This is a very reckless operation at this point. You've gotten that teaser, there's police sirens going on. So there's something bad is coming at the end of this.
Yeah, I think he's just ready to kind of not live in the shadows anymore. And if he's going to be carted off to jail, he's just done with it. Whatever the consequences are going to be, it feels like he's really ready for it. Even when he went to this guy's house, he broke his window. The other people, they didn't even know anything had happened. They had just kind of slipped in, slipped out, gave all the identities to this other guy, paid them off. He even said by the time they find out, it'll be, forever from now kind of thing. Not this guy. He's going to know that someone was there.
I'm just sad in general right now because it's maybe this is my own fault. Maybe I'm the clown for thinking that Better Call Saul would give us a happy, redemptive story of Jimmy McGill at the end of this. Why? I genuinely thought this in a part of my heart because Breaking Bad had such a sad ending and such just a brutal past few episodes. Granted, a lot of these people did some very bad things, but I thought Vince Gilligan and Peter Gold were going to go the other way in Better Call Saul and be like, okay, Jimmy did some bad stuff, but he is somebody who is capable of doing better. We have seen him do better, but no, that is not the story we are getting anymore.
No, it's sort of, again, like what happened with Walt. You know, he found out that his cancer was back, but he chose how he wanted to go out. So while it wasn't like a happy ending, it was at least his choice of an ending. Sort of, he died doing what he loved that made him feel good about himself. Where, you know, when we first met him, he was being disrespected by everybody and he wasn't feeling that great about himself. He was always kind of being put down. And by the end of it, he was just like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna die, but I'm choosing my way out and I'm doing something that I love that makes me feel good about myself. So happy ending, no, but at least it was his choice.
Here is the ending that will make me roll the eyes in my head until they're straight out on the floor. Jimmy/Gene gets arrested. He is sitting in prison, and then a public defender comes up, and it is Kim Wexler, and she is now practicing law in Nebraska. If they do that, I'm going to be so upset. That is going to be I want Kim back. I do not need the corny coincidence Kim return on this show.
It's going to be Bill. I mean, Francesca did give a bit of an update that Bill is now a public defender. So, I mean, it could very well be Bill, which would be, you know, kind of a fun little thing to see come back.
Yeah, that I would be okay with. Not Kim. Don't do Kim like that. There's other things you can do.
Okay, let's talk about Jesse and Walt back. It was this far into the video. It was. Listen, I loved seeing them back. When Jesse said, yo, my heart just went, pew. I just loved seeing them back. The chemistry between them, pun intended, back and forth. I just miss them so much. I just love seeing them on screen together. I love their back and forth. But a lot of this felt like it was just very specifically in there for fan service. It didn't really progress the story a lot. It was sort of like scenes that maybe didn't make it into Breaking Bad, but were filmed obviously now. It's, you know, wasn't like it was on the cutting room floor and they were like, let's throw this in here. But they didn't really reveal like a ton of new info. Even when Jesse was kind of like, oh, you mentioned LALO. Who's LALO? It's like we already kind of knew that they weren't going to know who he was anyways. They don't need to really spell everything out.
I would have almost preferred something where Gene was getting haunted by like a vision of Walt as he is Breaking Bad or doing something kind of cool and psychological. I mean, I'm like you in this and that, you know, it was cool to see them again, obviously. Like, it was fun, it was nostalgic, it was all of those. I mean, yeah, it really didn't matter that much to the grand scheme of this story, but it's just, by the way...
But it was still good.
It was still good. A complete aside, like... Albuquerque's building freaking statues to Walt and Jesse. I mean, I know this is a very important part of the Albuquerque economy, and the show is iconic, but it's like, hey, children, come look at this statue of this criminal mastermind drug dealer now and his teenage student who he roped in to this massive operation. But you know, whatever. The thing that makes me the happiest, Huel is okay.
Huel is okay. It seems like we got an update on Huel and he's just back with his family.
Somebody gets a happy ending at the end of all of this.
That's right.
Even if it's not going to be us when there's something really terrible happening to Gene.
All I know is that we need to get some kind of like real legitimate update on Kim. Like, we have been on a huge ride along with Jimmy, but also Kim, and just her breaking up with him and leaving and quitting her job in law. Okay, we know what she did back then, but here we are now. Like, oh man, we should have gotten that phone call. I really feel raw about it.
Yeah, I'm raw about it too, and of course we'll hopefully get more information next week. They better not save this to the series finale. That's all I got to say on that.
No.
But go ahead, hit that subscribe button, guys, because you know, we all got to be in this payoff together. We got to see how things are going to end here.
Yep.
So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you here next time.